Saxon's Calculus Lesson 51 is about graphs of rational functions for the third time and then repeated factors. So I've gone ahead and drawn out or listed out the examples and started their graph. So in the bottom, I know that I'm creating asymptote lines at -3, +2, +3, and -2. Once those are in place, I look to see in the numerator, do I have any starting places? And this one with the square does not help me, but this one at +1 does. So I know I'm going to cross here. Now, overall, this is a negative, and so things are going to be dropping in our sections. Now, again, I can plug in a -4 and test it, but I also know that because it's falling, it's doing this. And my parabola shape that will be very tightly between the -2 and -3, its vertex will be somewhere in here, and it will also be falling. And then this large section between the -2 and the 2 has to be falling and somewhere swooping over to get to this one and then down with the asymptotes. Again, a very tight section here between the 2 and the 3, and it's going to be climbing because they're alternating. And then this last one is going to be falling here in the negative section. Now, we move on to part B, the repeated factors. And I am reminded that when I have a squared, I am basically creating a volcano. And so here, my asymptote line will be at -3. And the only difference between A and B part of example 2 is that this one is positive and this one is negative. So because I have a positive here, my volcano is going to be getting closer to the x-axis, and then here doing the same thing, and it's on the positive side of things. Now, for the -1, same thing with my asymptote, but the volcano is going to be going down and to the x-axis. So there's those volcanoes. Now, in example 3, again, I went ahead and started -2 will be an asymptote, +3 will be an asymptote, and then the +6 will be an asymptote. And I note that because these have the squareds, they will create volcanoes, which is why I labeled that. But let me go back to the top and get dots. So the one with the squared, it's doesn't really matter. I'm pulling a 1 and I'm getting a dot. Now that I have that, overall, this should be positive. So I should be climbing. And then because I know these are volcanoes, swooping somewhere here. I don't feel like that should be my vertex point, but let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I feel like it should be a little bit further off, like my diagram there was a little bit weird. And then I have another volcano here in this section, but I have no idea until I plug in like 4 or 5 and see where it gets me a dot. So it might be a touch higher. That's what they did in the book. And then again, I need to test some numbers maybe higher than 6, but I know because it's positive, we're going to land in the positive section. And that is all of lesson 51.